Welcome to the Legislative Automated Workflow System, or LAWS. LAWS is used by Massachusetts to manage the legislative process. We're going to start by logging in as a member of the Senate. You'll note that only authorized users can use this application, but they can connect to it from anywhere where they have an internet access. So this is the dashboard for the Senate member. You can see that there's a box called My Work where they see the bills that they've sponsored, bills they've co-sponsored, that they've requested, and also bills where others have requested that to be a sponsor or co-sponsor. There's also notifications. You can see that they have one hearing that is going to be upcoming, and then currently they have no to-dos. In the next session box, you see that there's been no scheduled sessions for the Senate, House, or joint sessions. Finally, in the scheduled committee hearings box, you can see that there has been one hearing scheduled at this point. And also in the top right, there are no alerts at this time. Legislators are able to get information about any bill in the system for the current general court. If you go to General Inquiry, you can see all 6,881 bills for this current legislative session. If I want to try to find bills that have to do with education, then, or at least it had education in the title, I can put that keyword in there and do a search. And now you can see I've only gotten bills back that have to do with education. Now, if a legislator wants to file a new bill, he or she would go to Create a Document. He or she would choose the drafting source. In this case, we'll go with New. Legislation type, we'll try Bill. Document title, we'll just say this is a test bill. You can also see there are numerous boxes where you can fill in more information about the bills. Each of these boxes are expandable. In this case, we have EPs, or Emergency Preamble. We can close that up. And we'll put in some document text, and we'll just say this is a test bill. Legislators have the ability to save bills as drafts, and they're kept private to themselves and their aides until they're actually filed. So in this case, we'll say Save as Draft. Okay, and it's been saved as a draft. So if I come back to my home page, and at a later time, I can go back to Create a Document. If I looked at the drafting source in this case, I pull up my drafts. In this case, this is the bill, the test bill I just created. And now you can see this is the information I had before. So if everything looked good, and I can make changes to it and that sort of thing, but if it's ready to go, I can file it. This confirms that you want to send this to the clerk's office. In this case, I do. Okay, it has been successfully filed, and now it's with the Senate Clerk's office. We've now logged in as a Senate Clerk. This is the dashboard for the Senate Clerk. It's similar to the legislators, but it is different. You'll notice that there's an inbox here, and there's a final passage box. But they also have to-dos just like the legislators, as well as next session and committee hearings, and also the alerts on the side. In this case, the manager work has changed to clerk work. So we're going to go into that menu. And now you see that the bill that the Senate member just filed is here at the very top. If we expand the details, you can see the information that was entered by the legislator. In this case, if we want to assign it a docket number, We can either manually assign one, or we can choose to just let the system choose the next available number. In this case, that's SD02206, and we will do that. And this is just confirming that's what I want to do. Okay, and now you see that there's a docket number. There's more information that the clerks are able to enter here that the legislator wasn't. If we go up to the top, the clerk might decide that he or she wants to refer this to the Senate Committee on Ethics and Rules. You do that there, and then you hit the process button. And now you see that this bill has been grayed out because this is no longer in the new files queue because it is now has been processed to a committee. Okay, we're now logged in as the Senate Ethics Chair. This person has the same dashboard as any other legislator. In this case, though, there's also a committee work menu option. So let's choose that now. This member is actually a member of more than one committee. So let's choose the Senate Committee on Ethics and Rules. And again, this person is the chairperson of that committee, which gives them certain capabilities and responsibilities. In the list of bills that are currently before this committee, you see that there's this new bill that we've created. Again, we have the ability to expand, and you see that it is a test bill. You also see the status of the bill, the summary, hearing, poll, and report. So that tells you where the bill is with respect to the committee. In this case, we're going to create a hearing and have this bill heard at the next hearing. So we're going to schedule a new hearing. Here we're going to choose it for April 12th. And the start time is going to be 1 p.m. And the end time is going to be 3 p.m. And we'll make the hearing description be test hearing. And as simple as that, we've created a hearing. Now here's where we supply additional details about the hearing. So we have to select a location. We'll choose room 222. We'll choose the chairman, and choose myself, and we're going to add agenda items, and we're going to add the bill that just got referred to this committee. So the topic will be test topic. Facilitator will be, again, myself, and we have to find the bill that we want to have heard at this hearing. And I'm going to save the agenda. Now you can see that the bill is in the agenda. And now we're ready to save it. Okay, the hearing's been created. So if we go back to the summary of the bills, and as you can see for this bill now, the hearing button is green, indicating that the bill is about to be heard. Now you'll notice that poll is red, meaning there has not been a poll for this bill. So we'll do that next. Here we'll create a test question. We'll say, do you approve? We'll set the end date to be the 16th and the end time to be 1 p.m. Click Add. It's as simple as that. Now there's been a poll attached to it. If you go back to the summary, you'll see that poll is yellow. That means that a poll has been opened, but has not been completed yet. Finally, let's say that the committee is done with this bill, and they're going to report out on it. In this case, we go to Actions, Report. In this case, we're going to say Favorable. We're not going to have any accompanying bills with this. and we're going to hit the process button. This is just a message indicating that we didn't follow all the steps that a committee would usually go through, and since this is a test, it's not an issue. Say yes. And now it is back with the Senate. You'll see that the report button is green here, and if you go back to the summary, it's the same thing. So now this has been referred back to the Senate clerk. Now that the bill has been reported out by the committee, it's ready to be debated on the chamber floor of the Senate. To do this, we're logged in as a clerk, and the clerk would go in and set up a session. Now the way this works is there's always a session open just as a placeholder. We're going to edit the placeholder that's out there now. We're going to change it from an informal to a formal session. We're going to set the start date to be the 17th. We're going to set the start time to be 1 p.m. We're going to set the scheduled end date to also be the 17th and the stop time to be 3 p.m. And that's all we need to do. We'll save it. And imagine it's a day or two later and you're ready to start the session. You simply hit the start button. Okay, now the session has started on the Senate chamber floor. To see what bills are going to be discussed that day, you go to the orders of the day. And here are the bills that are in second reading, and here's the bill that we have been working with. There's all the information. After it is discussed, then the clerks will indicate where the bill goes next based on the actions on the chamber floor. In this case, we can say it's been ordered third. We hit process. And now the bill's ready to be reviewed again in the next session, the third reading. Thank you for taking the time to view this demo of the Massachusetts Legislative Automated Workflow System. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please send an email to govsys@talon.com.